You're listening to the Loudmouth Radio Network.
Yeah, what's good, everybody? I wanted to make this segment today as soon as possible so that when you get up today, you'll get it early. It'll be meeting you in your inbox. It'll be accompanying you on your ride to work if you're leaving the house. And I wanted to resonate for your work week. I wanted to settle into your brain. And I want to challenge you to look into this information I'm going to share with you tonight I'll share with you today because I want you to be able to reference it whenever you may need to. Because when I tell you guys, I have a song that I'm going to share with you in lyrical form because I don't want to play it, obviously, because I am on a streaming platform and I do not want it to minimize or limit its reach because of copywriting, right? And it is the inspiration of today's title, which is Keep Pushing On. When I was in college, I attended an art college in Savannah, Georgia. I used to go to this club that was called Club One. They're still operating, still there on River Street. Near Bay Street. And it's a gay club. It was tremendously trafficked during the time period I was there because of the uptick of films, the uptick of people coming from out of state. You know, there's a lot of tourism in Savannah. But specifically during that time, Lady Chablis, bless Lady Chablis' heart, we used to have a really cool relationship. And Lady Chablis became pretty popular at the time as a host of the drag show because of Lady Chablis' presence in a film that Clint Eastwood brought to Savannah and film, which was the Midnight Garden of, the Midnight Garden. I can't think of the title right now. I got to get that right. But as I'm looking that up, there was a lot of different people that would come in and frequent the club, and they would come to the drag shows. And when I tell you, it would be all people from all walks of life, even though there was a time period when I was in college and I was still ducking off because we didn't necessarily wanted people to have full essence of our whereabouts in the club. So it was not abnormal, but maybe one of our professors would walk through the door and go up to see the drag show because it became so popular. And it was, I was going to say the Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. And that was the actual name of the film, which was a Clint Eastwood film. And Lady Chablis had an opportunity to have a part in that movie. And so it just really brought a lot of traffic into Club One. And people wanted to see this infamous drag show. Well, for many of us that lived in the area of Savannah, especially college students and some of my friends that were in the area or from Savannah, we would come especially to dance. And the DJs would give you life playing house music. I'm from Chicago, so I'm a naturally connected house music lover. And so this song is actually a house track and it's called Keep Pushing On. And I want to get into it. So I want to just let you know that we're going to have some really, really, really well-noted information today just from a song. And its title should already give you some evidence of where we're going with this today. So y'all know what time it is. It's Monday and it's time for Sonny's Money Motivation. Let's go. Welcome to Loudmouth Radio Network. My name is Sonny. As a former professional athlete turned entrepreneur realtor and the producer of Loudmouth Radio Network, I look forward to bringing content to you that empowers, inspires, and entertains you. Tune in each week as we have unscripted and unfiltered talks from entrepreneurship, real estate, politics, entertainment, comedy, LGBTQ topics, day-to-day life, and everything in between. All shows available on demand 24/7 on your favorite podcast platforms. Center, Temecula Valley areas, and throughout the Inland Empire. Are you looking to become a homeowner in 2024? Register today for the New Home and the New Year seminar hosted by Soul by Sonny.
Let's get you from rental to homeowner in the new year. Get the latest insight of down payment assistance programs, whether you purchased a home before or purchasing for the first time. We want to make sure you're provided with the necessary information needed for you to buy your new home in 2024. Look forward to seeing you there.
Hi, I'm Hector Calvillo of J&H Automotive, located at 611 West Florida Avenue in Hemet, California. We are a full-service automotive repair shop where you can always expect to receive the highest quality repairs, fairest pricing, best customer service in the industry. My brother George and I grew up watching our dad work on classic cars as a backyard mechanic. His hard work ethic and dedication led us to opening up J&H Automotive in 2009. We started out with a 500 square foot repair shop, and we have consistently grown over the past 15 years to our new 10,000 square foot repair facility in the heart of Hemet. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Call 951-766-5999 to set an appointment for all your automotive service needs.
What's up, everybody? This is for my comedy industry people, specifically Loudmouth Radio Network and Sonny's Loudmouth Comedy presents For the Love of Comedy, Comedy Industry Mixer, an exclusive night to meet up, network, and laugh, celebrating all things comedy. I need you guys to come together. Tuesday, October 1st, 2024. Doors open at 7 p.m. at Shooter's Bar and Grill, located right at 28950 Old Town Front Street in Temecula, California. This is going to be an opportunity for us to meet and greet, share updates, connections, make some opportunities, talk about comedy business, comedy news. Let's get together. We need to know each other. We need to see each other. And this is specifically for the comedy industry. This is a free entry. There's going to be some door prizes, raffles, giveaways, and more. I hope that you're ready. The meetup, 7 p.m. The network starts at 8, room conversations, and we're going to have a little laughter. You know, we can't come together and not do that. So I look forward to seeing you guys. Get your tickets right on eventbrite.com. See you soon. All right, y'all. So I'm pretty excited about this conversation, even though it's coming off of the heels of such a pressing week. I had a very, very, very pressing week last week. And if you guys have ever had a moment like that where you've had some intensity of responsibility, you may have had a lot of things pulling at you at the same time, and you have some significant decisions to make, or you have some deadlines, and it seems like those days or those weeks or times that's happening, there's not just that. Most likely there's some other things that's intersecting and causing pressure. And for me, I had to really work through some days that was pulling at me, and it was pulling at me hard because I had some decisions I had to make in a very small window. And I think the biggest thing that led me to get through it was to actually get still at some points at times throughout the course of the week, because I had so many things that were moving around that required me to make decisive actions. And I was really in the midst of dealing with various people at various times, and I needed responses and interactions and communication. And because of that, it just kept me feeling like I was ping-ponging, through the midst of the week. And then I think that it just got to a point where I made some realizations and made some hard decisions, and it alleviated some of the pressure along the way. But it just kept hitting these boiling points and tipping up and tipping down. And because of that type of feeling that pretty much lasted the entire week, it just really made me feel like I was off the normal stride that I would normally have, I would say. And so this song that I mentioned in the beginning is called Keep Pushing. And I said to you that this segment today has been inspired by that song. And I kind of add a little more to the title, which is keep pushing on. Because there are times when you're going to have to keep pushing through, even though there may be some challenges that are pushing back against you. And when those kind of feelings are happening, sometimes you either, back in the day, I might just try to kick the door in and just keep pushing and keep going anyway. But that wasn't the right time, place, or the necessity of how I needed to handle things. Then there are other times when you may fall back, but you don't necessarily want to fall back so far that you're not keeping a grip on what you need to do. You don't want to cave, right? Sometimes things can be so stressful that it makes you feel like you want to cave, or you just want to stop. Because what's interesting though, there are times where you do need to stop, because if you kind of looking left, you're looking right, you're looking in the middle, you're looking up and looking down, and you're still not getting the answers or the resolve that you need, sometimes you just need to get still. In those times is when you most likely, for me, you get into your closet, you get on your knees, you get into your huddle, your meditation space, however you communicate with within yourself, the higher power, the universe, God, Jehovah Jireh, whatever you reference as a deeper connection of whoa, okay, this is gonna push me back a little bit, and I gotta kind of see my way in it, because I'm in the middle of it. But it doesn't mean that I've got a full answer, or I can. Sometimes you just can't resolve it all right then and there. And so it will make you feel sometimes like, and it's not about control. It's not sometimes about control, but it can make you feel a little crazy, or make you feel anxious, or make you feel unrest, or just unrested. And it can create levels of anxiety that can make you either, one, make bad decisions, or you can not think things through. Sometimes people will abandon things. They'll just give it up. They'll just stop it completely and just drop it and let it go. And it was none of those things for me that was really the right way, other than to keep pushing and to trust what I felt and what I knew was my own level of discernment to a degree. There are times you have to be reflective, and sometimes things are not always about you in the midst of it. It could be affecting you, but maybe the way things are going, you also have to give other people who may be involved in the process room and time to process. And so that doesn't necessarily mean that it feels good or it feels right. But you also equally have to sometimes give people time and room to move and maneuver in their own right, especially if it involves them. If it calls for their response or opinion or participation or, decisions, you have to still give other people their opportunity to process and make a decision. And then you still have to possibly be ready for what that decision may come out to be. It may not be what you want it to be. It may not be the answer that you desire. It may not be the collective that you're hoping for. It may not be the connection of where you go to keep going. Sometimes you have to break up or break apart or break away from certain avenues. But the only way you're going to figure that out at times is to trust enough of yourself and pay attention to the things that's going on around you. Because sometimes there's these signs that'll show themselves. Maybe there's these conversations that you'll have with people who have nothing to do with the process, but they come along and you'll talk about something and they'll give you an aha moment and give you something that's almost like a real confirmation or affirmation that, wow, I didn't look at it that way. I didn't consider that. Or maybe that's telling me to consider something more, or to even be still, or not make a decision at all. Sometimes you got to give room for things just to work their way out. A lot of times that makes you feel even more stressful, because that means that it is beyond your control. And if you're a person like myself, at times, I sometimes desire the things to just, I'm a creative, I'm a visionary. I see things that are not there, especially from a development perspective. And when those things are not necessarily fully formed, it could be frustrating. It could be stressful and challenging. But at the end of it, if it's something that is sincerely a grounding thing that is amongst your ability, or is coming from you, or is involving you, and you can stand in it wholeheartedly and know that this is where you are, and it has no negative impact. It does not, it's not destructive. Then sometimes you have to allow yourself room to trust that it's going to work out, right? A lot of times, not saying just sometimes, a lot of times. But in the midst of that, your attitude, your mindset, the way you show up, the way you talk, the way you process may require you to have that bigger thing that you have to go in and push from your belly, from your diaphragm, and push up. And it has to come into the heart chamber and stay there and resonate long enough to then also connect to the mind. And when those things all sync together, typically you'll get that answer. You'll get that response. You'll get that understanding. And that at that moment, even if it's not what you necessarily want, I know for me, when I can get to a firm place of a good conclusion of things, whether it means that I may not need to continue with it, I may need to pivot, I may need to stop, I may need to even ramp it up more and keep going. But to get to a space where you have an understanding, to me, that's gold. Because then I have a way of giving myself direction. It's like if you're trying to drive the street, even before we had GPSs, I'm still back where I traveled when I used the atlas. My mother was big about, we would hop in the car, go to our family reunions in different cities and states. And, our mapping way, I learned how to read a map very young because my mother was driving. I would be in the front seat holding this huge road atlas. Right. And now you'll probably find them at a trucker's stop. I still like to keep them. Right. I love being able to I love maps and geography. So I'm freaky like that. But, I learned how to read an atlas. I learned how to read a map. And when you're taking highways and something, like we're so conditioned with technology, we'll just detour it and just press the button on the phone or on your GPS in your car, and it'll just redirect you and tell you which way to go. Well, before there was GPSs in the civilian world, we was using maps. We was writing down directions. We was going off of people telling us, oh, when you get to the stoplight, you got to go 2 lights down, and then when you get to 87th Street, you're going to make a right. Or they'll, in the South, they'll give you a landmark. Oh, when you get to the Big Chicken, the Big Chicken's on the street, but they won't tell you the name of the street. They tell you, when you see the Big Chicken on the corner, make a right there. Then when you make that right there, you're going to keep going all the way down, maybe 5 more lights. Now, I told you I'm from Chicago. So we're quickly and adaptively accustomed to giving directions of north, south, east, west, street, highway, byways, right? In the South, there's, like I said, landmarks, so many lights. A little further up, just a few miles more, there's no necessarily clarity of definement of directions, right? So, and if you go to different countries, I remember driving in London, and I had this, I'm driving a 5 or 6 speed vehicle, but I'm sitting in the right seat driving and shifting with my left hand of the gear. And then on top of that, the highway, the fast lane is in the right lane, not the left. And we're driving on the left side of the street. And almost every day I would walk across the street looking to the right. I'm almost getting hit because the traffic's coming from the left. Yeah. So when you've been exposed enough to have enough experiences, enough life experiences, this conversation is going to have a lot more value. I think you'll have a lot of correlation and understanding. If you've traveled more than just in your neighborhood and in your city and state, you'll have a full understanding of the declaration of my statements. And so, guys, I want to share with you this song. And this song came out in 1996. So I know I'm telling ages on some folks, specifically mine, because I did tell you I was in college. So This song would come on in the club, and I'm spinning back to the original statement of this song that I'm going to share with you the lyrics. And this song would come on, and if you're anything like me, I'm a house head. I love music. I'm a drummer, so a lot of things with songs, music, if it has a nice deep bass or drum line, I'm drawn to it. I don't care if it's rock, if it's gospel, if it's reggae, if it's house music, if it's calypso, if it's soca, if it's zouk, if it's country, if it's hard rock, if it's EDM. I just have this this element, which is the drum, the bass, the drum, the beat itself is pretty much the lifeline of almost all music, right? So when this song would pump in the club, and when you would hear it comes in, it's like doom, 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 and it's hitting, right? And when you think about the words of keep pushing, you already know there's probably one word that stands out: adversity. You know, I like to use that phrase, that adversity muscle. You got to develop an adversity muscle if you want to navigate life, y'all. That's always going to be my testament to you. So you can imagine, boom, 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 boom. You hear the song, and then you hear this words come on, and it starts out, it's so low for me. It's so low for me. And guys, when I tell you, if you're ever in a space where you're having a bad day, or somebody pissed you off, or you might be so frustrated you can't even think straight, I used to always say that if you put on a house song, like a song like this, in the middle of a city, over the middle of a road, in the middle of a street, in places like Atlanta have proven this when they have this element called House in a Park, where families, all different colors, creeds, races, gender, are all in a park dancing freely next to each other out in the middle of the park to house music. I always say that house music could decimate and totally destroy the essence of a war. I think it could level people to where the things that may be overcoming them or making them feel so anxiety driven or stressed or angry, I think it could pull it away. A song like this, and I'm going to give you the words so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Keep pushing on. Things have gonna get better. It won't take long. Keep on pushing to the top. And they repeat that verse. Keep pushing. Keep on pushing. Things are going to get better. It won't take long. Keep on moving to the top. Keep on moving. Keep on moving to the top. Keep on pushing. Things are going to get better. So they repeat that, like the first minute and some change of that song. That part is just keeps coming back and looping back around. Reach on up and reach on in. Keep on pushing and you will, and you win. Reach on up, reach on in. Keep on pushing and you win. Reach on up, reach on in. Keep on pushing and you win. Reach on up, reach on in. Keep on pushing and you win. And you win. And I know you will. You gonna win. Gonna win. You gonna win. Follow the mountains, seem too high and the valley low. Keep on pushing and you will know. And guys, that is the entire verse of this song that is literally a 6-minute track. So can you imagine? So if you're not one that knows really about house music, a lot of times the tracks can come in and the beat of that song is already going to connect into your body and it reverberates into your soul. That's the house music is certain house, because you got club, you got EDM, you got rave, you got different elements of what they call electronic music and things of that nature. But when you have a song like this, it resonates soulfully. And because it resonates soulfully, a lot of times the beat and the verse is going to connect to something that is going to make your soul feel lifted, and it'll make you feel free. And a lot of times, whatever you might have came in, I can remember days I would come into that club and I would have my social group of people that I would know and they would know me, but they knew that if I came in and I just went straight to the dance floor, and the club had glass surrounding the dance floor, right? I would get into that floor, go straight to the mirror, and me and my reflection would get it in. And a lot of times it could have been things that were so heavy in my life or in my mind. And I would walk in there, man, and that music was just connecting to my spirit. And I would dance for 2, 3, 4 hours. And by time the club lights would come up, 3-some o'clock in the morning, I'm drenched from head to toe. And I have danced and worked out any and every aspect of whatever agony, if any, could have possibly been on me. By the time I left there, it was washed away. It couldn't stay on me. It couldn't sustain on me. It couldn't hold on to me because I had let it go. And a song like this is one of those songs that and the writer, the songwriter, Boris, Boris, last name is Douglas. I think this is sounds maybe German or something like that, but the spelling is Dlugosch. So guys, I'm gonna encourage you to look up that song and listen to it. And if you're in your car or you're at the house, man, turn it up. Turn it all the way up, especially if you're being pressed, if you're dealing with something that just feels like, I don't have an answer. I don't know how I'm going to get through this. I don't know which way to turn. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how this is going to get better. I don't even know if I know what to do. I don't even trust myself through this process right now because evidently maybe I've been screwing it up, or I don't have the resources that I needed to have. I don't care what it is. If you are dealing with a body element, if you're dealing with something that's got you sick, I don't care if you can't walk. I don't care if you can't talk. I don't care if you can't speak. This song has so much reverence inside of it. Even if you were deaf and you were standing in this club or had your radio turned up in your car or your music turned up in your house, the element of the beat, the energy of it, you would feel it, even if you were completely deaf. That's one of the cool things about music, huh? So guys, when I tell you sometimes we're carrying so much and we're trying to do so much, and a lot of times God is telling us to let it go and release it. Maybe it is something that may not be the way you want it to be, and it's taking you through some courses, some heavy stuff. But you know what? Even God rested on the seventh day. So sometimes we need to release it and let it go. And even the keep pushing phrase of those words are not necessarily meaning that you keep pushing whatever it is that it may not be that you need to keep pushing the needle or pushing this thing, but sometimes it's just your attitude or optimism. Sometimes you just need to have optimism when you don't have anything else, when you don't have an answer, when you don't have a full reflective ability to say, this is going to be the way it is, or this is going to happen. You only have hope. You only have desire. I do believe that God understands our hearts. He knows our minds and the circumstances around us. There are a lot of times, especially if you do enough in this world and you live enough, you're going to hit some adversity. You're going to hit some challenges. You're going to slam into some obstacles. And there's times when it's okay to just let it go. Meaning, stop trying to hold on to figure out how to make it go, do or what. Sometimes, like I said, this song is 6 minutes long. Even if you give yourself just enough time to hear this song, and I ain't going to be mad if you put it on repeat, because sometimes you got to turn it all the way up and drown your thoughts out. Right? A lot of times it's the voices in our heads that is driving us to not be able to get through things because our brains are too cluttered. We can't even hear. God can't even enter your brain and your mind or your heart because you holding on so much in your head that you can't even hear him. You can't even understand that it's already working out in your favor. So guys, when I tell you, keep pushing on. Keep pushing on. Things are going to get better. It won't take long. Keep on pushing to the top. I love y'all. Y'all have a blessed week. Later.
You're listening to the Loudmouth Radio Network.
Hello, my name is Takasha Smith. I'm the owner of Takasha's Kitchen, based out of Menifee, in the Southern California area. As a chef and caterer, I provide private cooking classes, couples dinners, and private parties. As a female pitmaster, I am able to create a personalized experience for your family reunion gatherings. I create menus based on my clients' needs to have a more personal vibe. You can find Takasha's Kitchen on all social media networks such as Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and my YouTube channel at Takasha's Kitchen. And that's spelled TACASHAS Kitchen, KITCHEN.
You're listening to the Loudmouth Radio Network.
What up, everybody? This is Sonny, your loudmouth of comedy. I got something to share with you guys. You listening? Check it out. Sonny's Loudmouth Comedy Presents is coming to Shooters Bar and Grill of Temecula. We're doing comedy and karaoke every third Wednesday live comedy event, right? We're doing open mic, featured comics, and we're topping it off with karaoke. Now, this is the best part. I need you to get your tickets. We're doing advanced tickets and table reservations. We're not doing anything at the door, which means you need to get your tickets. And you need to go to where? Loudmouthcomedy.com. That's LOUDDMOUTH, loudmouthcomedy.com, all together. Get your tickets. Tell the homies. You can get you some reservations for tables, seating. Also, listen, if you are a comic or maybe you do spoken word or you might sing or something like that, you want to take part in the open mic, I need you to go to loudmouthcomedy.com and get your opportunity to get registered and signed up for the open mic. It's limited spaces. Don't let me tell you I didn't tell you ahead of advance. Now you gotta do this in advance, right? And you need to be registered well in advance, okay? So you need to go to loudmouthcomedy.com. Uncontrollable laughter, great food, drinks, and a comfortable atmosphere. I can't wait to see you.